thank you for joining us on Journalist Hangout on Sunday. I am Benga Oreshegun. Today on the program, NNPC denies misleading reports, insists Port Harcourt refinery is operational, reduces price of petrol to 899 naira per litre. IGP warns against unorganized sharing of palliatives to vulnerable Nigerians amidst deaths from stampedes as Peter Obis blames harsh economy. And later on the show, in our weekend special for this week, Babajide Kolade Otitojo visited Federal University of Agriculture at Abeokuta to see the contributions of the institution to food production through partnerships and extension services. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitojo and Adewale Adeoye. Journalist Hangout starts. Now let's begin the conversation. But before we begin the conversation, actually, the Citizens' Rights Forum Awards 2024, presented to Babajide Kolade Otitojo as the best public affairs analyst of the year 2024. A round of applause for BKO. BKO, this is beautiful. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I can only say I'm grateful. You can see the Committee for Defense of Human Rights, CDHR, and the Center for Anti-Corruption and Open Leadership came together, to put this ceremony together and to have a dialogue on free speech. At the end of the day, some of us were deemed worthy of bagging awards, and I'm happy that even as we are moving towards the end of the year, the accolades are coming, and I'm truly grateful to God and to Nigerians who appreciate my work. So, and I promise, as I always do, that I will continue to give my best. I will continue to speak for the ordinary Nigerians. I will continue to stand on the truth, no matter whose ox is God.
No matter whose ox, I like that part.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
It's important to stay true to one's name.
Sure.
If my name was Otitojo, and I'm identified with falsehood, there is no other way to describe me other than to call me anomaly. But, I'm not going to do anything that diminishes my name, and my family name.
Exactly. Congratulations once again, BKO, Best Public Affairs Analyst of the Year 2024. More to come. 2025. All right, let's begin the conversation. For a human rights lawyer, Dele Farotimi, who has seen his share of troubles this year, a glimmer of hope of freedom is in the offing. The coordinator of the Obedient Movement globally has announced that former presidential candidate of the Labour Party and leader of the group, Peter Obis, has offered to fulfill the bail conditions for Farotimi. This comes after Federal High Court granted Farotimi a 30 million naira bail following charges filed against him. According to the coordinator, Obis expressed gratitude to the court and all parties involved. It called for a resolution in the best interest of the legal system and all stakeholders. All right, BQ, there's been a lot of reaction concerning this Dele Farotimi issue, but this one, Peter Obis saying that he will meet the bail condition of Dele Farotimi. First of all, what do you make of the gesture?
It is it's understandable, it's expected. Peter Obis is the leader of the Obedient Movement, and Dele Farotimi is an integral part of that movement. In fact, he already told us that he will still support Peter Obis in 2027.
Okay.
Although at this stage we don't know on what platform Peter Obis
will be running.
Given the crisis
in the Labour Party.
The Labour Party, which even pushed the governor of Abia State to get their local government chairmanship aspirants to look in the direction of another party. So that's a whiff of what will come as we move close to the 2027 elections. The party is in crisis. We don't know on which platform Peter Obis will contest. Okay. Or perhaps they will resolve their differences and they will still use that platform again. So he has made it clear that he's going to stand shortly for him. I think if all their plans work, Dele Farotimi should be out of prison by Monday or Tuesday latest. Okay. The conditions are that he must deposit 30 million with sureties, with houses or similar assets. He was also ordered to submit his passport, and he must not speak in public because the court believes that by granting interviews and all that, it will aggravate the situation on ground. It could even further defame the man who has taken him to court, or other people who have taken him to court, because not one person now.
Yeah, there's been independent charges, yes, different charges.
Yes, it's not one person that is up against even the police. I've also decided to fight him legally.
Bobikeo, refraining from media interviews.
Yes.
Is this not going against his fundamental human right?
You see, when people talk about human rights, the Constitution already stipulates that there are conditions. There are conditions under which your right can be taken away, even your right to life.
Yes, Section
45. Yes. Your right to life can be taken away if you resist a legal arrest. If you resist, you could be shot and you could lose your life. There is no right that is absolute. In the exercise of your rights, you must be commonsensical.
Okay.
And I've used that analogy before, that I'm free to stretch my arm, but if I do it this way and I break your nose, I have infringed on your right, and you have every right to take action. So this is not the first time that this sort of stipulation will be given by a court of law, because there is a matter before the court. Somebody says he has been defamed, he has been libeled. That is being addressed by the court. If a man is now permitted to continue to do those things for which he was brought to court, you know that was adding salt to injury. Okay. So I guess the judge or the magistrate just trying to manage the situation so that even before the trial begins, things do not degenerate up to the point that we do not want to see. So the case is in court. There is no way that people will want to interview Dele, for example, that he will still not talk about man. It's not possible, because they will ask questions specifically about the other. So I guess the judge is just trying to manage the situation and even help the accused person. So if I were him, I would say, look, the case is in court. My lawyers have advised me no interviews for now. But if he wants to play the hero, as many activists like to do, okay, he will go against his bail condition. I think that the law is the law. Remember, even his lawyer, the lawyer leading his legal team, okay, Fushika, was not allowed to represent him because, yes, because the law says that an SAN cannot appear before an inferior court. Imagine that someone who was abusing me, one lawyer who was
for media interviews is right.
Well, I think the fear of running foul of contempt,
okay,
is there. Ordinary people might wish to disrespect such a regulation, But I think as a lawyer, I believe he is conscious to avoid contempt of court. Okay. I believe that he will live by that rule because there are consequences if you are contemptuous of a court order. It's an order of the court which no Nigerian should seek to violate. However, I know that the court will not be able to rule out the prospect of Nigerians debating the issue because of the advent of social media. Okay. It's going to be continue to be a major issue that Nigerians will never stop debating. So, but I will advise him not to run foul of the law. If anything happens, the judiciary will not be looking for those people talking on Facebook. It is him.
But for someone who has said that he does not believe in Nigeria's judicial system, do you see him obeying or disobeying this law?
I don't think anybody, except an anarchist, that will say that I don't have respect for the Nigerian legal system. He might say that, oh, the judiciary is corrupt and all that. But then we need to be very careful of making sweeping statements because there are credible judges in Nigeria. I've met quite a number of them. Sure. It's Nigeria that produce people like Oputa, Justice Oputa, people like Kayode Esho, wonderful, and we also have corrupt lawyers anyway. So it's not judges alone. We also have corrupt court officials. So, in law, that's what they call the fallacy of hasty generalization. So you cannot say, oh, everybody is corrupt. So I think we are looking in a situation where there will be justice for Dele Farotimi, there will be justice for Justice Afe Balola, there will be justice for the judiciary, and also justice for Nigerians. If you make a case of bribery and all that, you have to prove it, in court. So we have to wait and see how the court decides this case.
And it's not going to be decided on social media.
Yeah.
Mob justice. If it's decided on social media, then that is mob justice. We are not going to be subjected to mob justice in our country.
And mob justice is not always right.
In any case, once he has been taken before a judge, even though he was taken against his will, once he has been taken before a judge, he knows that he has to act within the ambit of the law. So it's not a case of whether you are going to obey. You are subject to the laws of our country. You've chosen not to leave our country. Initially, you said you will leave, but you've chosen to remain here. And once you remain here, you are subject to the laws of our country. If you infringe on the laws of our country, you are going to be held accountable. That is settled. It's settled, and we just want to see this case kick off, and let's see how far it takes us.
Absolutely. All right, let's move straight to our next conversation.